It's true, you know, Chris.
What's that?
You can't stop rock and roll. And that's a classic track from the band Twisted Sister, who played a big show here in Bangor, and I remember it well because, well, I was probably way down in front, getting all sweaty. 8:44 right now here on Broadway in Bangor, AM 620, The Pulse, WZON, and how cool is this? The guy who's banging the skins in that track you're listening to right there is joining us on the telephone right now. It's drummer A.J. Perro on the phone. A.J., thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm duo today. You know, I got two people on today. Actually, it's great to be. I haven't seen Chris in years, and you know, he got in touch with me, and we just started talking, and we became friends again. I was years ago touring up there with Twisted. Yeah, we did a couple of shows, but I also did some clinics up there, and I believe that's where we met, right, Chris?
Yeah, you and I first met, AJ, back in the 80s at a clinic when I worked in a music store here in Bangor, and then we actually saw each other again in California at one of the NAMM shows.
Yes.
And I've always been a fan. I mean, I just want to tell the listeners, A.J. Perro is just a great guy. You know, he's one of these guys that a fan can really appreciate. He's down to earth. I think you represent the band well, and you represent rock and roll well. So yeah, thanks for being friends.
No, I really appreciate, you know, you reaching out and the friendship as well. You know, I mean, it's been a long road. The Twisted broke up, and then we reunited, and you know, we kind of miss a few places that we've played, which we haven't played. Maine being one of them in years. It was kind of one of my favorite places, especially meeting Stephen King up there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You guys had a chance to meet him backstage when you played right here in his hometown. He happens to be the guy who, well, AJ, he owns this radio station.
Yeah, I know, and you know, he had come down to the show, and I was just like, my mouth just dropped because I'm a big fan, still am, and I happened to have The Shining, the book, on me, and he signed it, and nice. I was just like, wow, this is cool. So then, you know, we met, and you know, you were a good kid. I mean, you know, you were just like so full of life, and you know, and then here, years later, I haven't heard from you, and then you get in touch with me, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool.
So we did the drum clinic, and my girlfriend at the time, and a good friend of AJ's, who unfortunately now is gone, and we went out to dinner afterwards, and we had a few adult beverages.
I was going to say, that sounds like trouble to me.
And so I've got a picture of my girlfriend and I think it was a restaurant in Brewer, Maine, AJ, and my girlfriend at the time and I throwing him up in the air, and so. Yeah, so we could do that to you then. I'm not so sure now if that would be a possibility, but
no, I don't think so.
But so anyway, you know, I was running across these pictures, Don, and I've always been an A.J. Perro fan, always been a Twisted Sister fan, and came across some pictures, and I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to mail these to him, and in New York where he lives, and mail them to A.J. because he'd probably appreciate them. And then next thing you know, he's calling me saying, "Hey, Chris, I really appreciate that." And
nice.
I had a picture of AJ and Ronnie James Dio and I, and
oh wow,
a lot of folks are going to know who Ronnie James Dio is.
Absolutely,
and so AJ,
rest in peace, Ronnie.
Yeah, exactly. AJ says to me, "Hey, Chris, I don't have any pictures of he and I together. We were friends, not a single picture." So that made it even more significant to me reaching out to him again.
Very cool.
Yes, and I got to scan those other ones and send them back to you. I'm bad. I'm sorry.
That's okay, man. I know where you live. We're good.
Yeah, I know.
That's the voice of A.J. Perro. He perhaps best known for his work behind a drum kit for the band Twisted Sister. AJ, I mentioned just briefly as we were going to break there that you guys did play a show in Bangor. That is where you met Steve, and that was where your lead singer Dee Snider got a little bit crazy, and he decided it was time to rename the city of Bangor. Basically, he kind of cut the name in two and jammed an expletive in the middle. And boy, he really stoked the ire of the Bangor City Council. But I'm thinking Bangor has this beautiful new concert facility now down on the waterfront. You know, if you guys decide to go back out on the road, or I understand you got another band going on now.
Yes,
hey, maybe it's time for you to make your way back to the city of Bangor.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to. I mean, unfortunately, Twisted since the reuniting in 2003. I mean, we've been playing playing since 2003.
Yep.
We only do a handful of shows a year because everybody's, if everybody keeps tabs on the guys in the band, especially D, he's all reality shows and.
Oh yeah.
He's in a new commercial too.
Yeah, he did the Super Bowl commercial, and he's been doing a lot of stuff like that, and it's been tough to kind of nail him down to do any kind of a full blown out, tour like we used to do in the old days. But to get us together like this year already, we've already got about 7 shows booked, and we're starting in March, which we do the big festivals around the world. They're not small shows. They're like, we just came off Belgium, 85,000.
Oh, my gosh.
Sweden Rocks, which is 70,000. We do shows like that every year. We're doing Mexico City, in March, and that's supposed to be 100,000 people. There's like 3-day festival. But that's what Twisted's been kind of doing since we reunited. But I've been doing some side work. I do a lot of corporate and retail security, which Chris got a kick out of that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chris being a law enforcement guy himself,
yes.
That's an interesting connection.
And I've also been involved with Fallen Blue, which happened to be a charity for law enforcement. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the closest I'll ever get, unless a couple of years from now I decide maybe to move up to Maine, and I'll take the test, the physical, which I'll pass no problem, and I'll become a law enforcement officer.
Bring your snow shovel, AJ.
Yeah, I love it up there. You kidding me? I'm listening to the forecast, and it's like 4 below. I looked at my wife. I said, "We're moving to Maine."
Oh my God, you're crazy.
Yeah, it's too hot down here. It's 32 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, so AJ,
yeah.
I want to make sure you get the chance to talk about Adrenaline Mob, your other band. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
We're going to put a link on the website here at the radio station, but if you could tell us something about that album.
Yes, absolutely. For people that don't know, the guys in Adrenaline Mob, Russell Allen, and who was from Symphony X, and Mike Orlando, who I happen to be like close friends with for over 30 years, they had Mike Portnoy on drums and John Moyer from Disturbed on bass. And last summer, they kind of did some touring for a couple of years. The first album did great. It caused a big buzz. And then Mike kind of got really busy in a lot of things, and the scheduling didn't pan out, so they had kind of, parted of ways, good terms. And me being close, and the closest thing to that, they had asked me to do the album, and I did the album, and they had asked me to join the band. I'm still gonna do the shows with Twisted as many as I can. If not, I get a fill-in. But the Adrenaline Mob, we're going to be touring extensively for the next year or so with the album. The album, called Men of Honor, will be released February 18th in North America, and then February 22nd internationally, which is worldwide. We got a worldwide deal. And we're going to start touring with that, whether we jump on some, big tours or we go out and do the smaller venues ourselves. But we're definitely going to be touring, so I would ask our fans to, keep an eye out for them. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, hey, absolutely. We'll certainly do so. I'm going to throw a link up to the website, adrenalinemob.com. You can find it on our Facebook page. It's the Pulse AM 620 on Facebook. I like the countdown here. 11 days, 15 hours and change to the release of the brand new album from Adrenaline Mob. When you get going on a new project like this, what's it like? It's really a different time in your life. Is it? Do you find that can it be more about the music than it was before? This is kind of the labor of love sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tough because nowadays, I remember what the 80s was like, launching a new album. And it was, you had to go out and you had to do the touring, and you didn't have social media like you have nowadays. You could virtually probably just sit at home and release an album and not even have to tour at all with YouTube and all the stuff like that. But, being live musicians, especially that we are, whether it's Twisted or Adrenaline Mob, I love playing live. There's nothing like it. That's our, that's like you said, our labor of love. We go out, we tour. But the thing, like I said, nowadays the music is in so many different directions. You just have to try to get in there and again, reinvent the wheel, reprove yourself. Yeah, I made a niche, with Twisted. We've sold over 20 million albums.
Wow,
that's crazy.
I'm one of the, the most well-known drummers in the world. But now it's a different direction for me. So now I got to reprove myself all over again.
Now, isn't Rudy Sarzo playing with you, AJ? Because Rudy played with Ozzy Osbourne. He played with Quiet Riot. Isn't Rudy Sarzo the bass player in Adrenaline Mob?
No, it's John Moyer.
John Moyer, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rudy is actually our other project. Now, before I joined Adrenaline Mob, me and Mike Orlando, the guitar player, did a side project with Ripper Owens, which we're still working on that. And that band is called Tread. Fortunately for me and for Adrenaline Mob, I was able to step in between the Twisted and the Tread, because I finished the tracks for the Tread album. I was able to do the tracks for the Adrenaline Mob album because they were on a deadline, and it worked out so well. The record label, the management, the band themselves, they loved what I did so much on there that they had asked me, wow, can you do the touring, because we have to support it. And not that we put the Tread thing on hold, but we're still, Ripper's busy. He's got like a bunch of other things. Rudy's out with Queensryche and a bunch of other things. So in between, we're trying to finish the Tread album, but that's a great band in its own right. So you can listen out for that probably within the end of the year or so.
We're speaking with rock drummer A.J. Pero, known for his work, his multi-platinum work with the band Twisted Sister, and his brand new project is, right on the verge of a brand new album release, Adrenaline Mob. You can check it out, adrenalinemob.com. AJ, it's got to be also very cool to, some of the names you're tossing around, like, oh, yeah, I had lunch with this guy, and we're working on this side project over here. How cool is that? I mean, obviously, 20 million in sales with Twisted Sister. That really kicked some doors open for you. You're out there on the road, making it work all those years, but also making connections with literally some of the best musicians in the world. And now, now that's all bearing fruit for you.
That's absolutely. I mean, it's just over the years, the music business, as kind as it was to me, and this has no reflection on the fans, because the fans make us who we are, and I love the fans. It's a cruel business. I mean, it's been so many ups and downs that, probably more than any other business besides, sports. This is the only business in the world that one day you're like up, and then all of a sudden the next day it's just, you hit the wall. Mm-hmm. But being given, a second chance, and that's what I'm calling it, because, I've been with Twisted Sister. The Stay Hungry album, this is our 30-year anniversary.
Oh, my gosh, you're making me feel old, man.
Yeah, well, just imagine how I feel getting up.
No kidding.
But, it's 30 years. Stay Hungry was released, so I'm turning around and I'm saying, wow, I'm, virtually even with the breakup with Twisted Sister for 30 years, and I'm with another project. So it's kind of a little bit scary. In a way, but we're getting such a big response on our website and from people all around. I mean, I just came back from the NAMM show, and I had thousands of people congratulate me.
Nice.
And listen to the streaming, because you're able to listen to the streaming saying, wow, AJ, that's great. You did a great job. And it makes you feel good. It makes it all worthwhile.
That's the voice of A.J. Pero, one of the best rock and roll drummers you're going to come across. And you can listen to that new music from Adrenaline Mob. It's up on their website, adrenalinemob.com. Brand new streaming track up there right now called Judgment Day. AJ, we're coming up against the clock here, man, but I want to thank you for taking the time this morning. Very cool to catch up with you, to learn about what's going on. Just great stuff.
Anytime. Chris got my number. You call me, wake me up, say, hey, yeah, you guys are great, and I'm glad that me and Chris were able to rekindle a friendship that we had years ago. And,
me too, brother. Me too.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys. I might buy property up there and move up there. Maybe become a law enforcement officer and patrol the streets. That would be pretty scary. You know, like a rock and roll musician by night, police officer by day.
Now there's a reality show for you, man.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Well, you know, you never say never. I don't know if I know Arizona doesn't have an age limit, but I don't know what it is.
AJ Pero, listen, so great to catch up with you. Thanks for taking the time this morning. We'll keep our eye out for Adrenaline Mob, both online and at record stores near us in just over 11 days, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Thanks again, man.
I will talk to you guys soon. Chris, I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you, AJ. Love you, brother.